Let me ask the next question. It's from Peter as well, this question. It's a good question. If I can read his question, PM. We have been told that the late Mr. S.R. Nathan had urged the president of the society, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, and two others. I was there. We visited him in hospital. And he asked us to find an answer to this question that was engaging his mind about a month before he passed away. And this was the question: what national cause would Singaporeans rally around for a brighter future and deepen the bond between them and their leaders? Peter, you omitted this part, which is that he felt that in the earlier generation, there was a very strong cause. We were a young, vulnerable nation. The cause was Singapore's survival and success. And everybody agreed with that cause. And as a result of trying to achieve that, there was this strong bond. And Mr. Nathan felt that this was a big difference between then and now. And he wanted us to find this cause which would be relevant today and which would help in deepening the bonds.
Well, he asked you, you ask me. It's a very difficult question to answer because in 1965, you start with nothing, you're quite clear which direction to go, and you want everybody to go in the same direction. And there was a very considerable consensus nationally that this is the right thing to do. And we were willing to work hard towards this shared objective. Let's grow the economy, make this a first-class, first-world country. Now you are a first-world place. Not quite like America or Britain, but standard of living, education, quality of life, we are there. What do you aim for? And one of the things you're aiming for is greater expression, greater diversity, greater chance for people to follow their own muses and to pursue their own goals. Therefore, by definition, less single-minded national cohesion. And yet, you want to keep the country together and maintain that sense of purpose and sense of drive and will, that there is something here which is worth doing. So, what is that common goal? I think that is for each generation to articulate. But if you look back on, say, from the perspective of SG 100, on the 50 years before that, what would I be proud of? I think I would be proud to say SG 100, after 100 years, we are one country, multiracial, cohesive. We have an identity which is strongly Singaporean. And we have not, and we still feel that there's purpose and meaning in prospering, in developing the society, in expressing our human spirit in Singapore. Very few countries do that. I mean, you look at Switzerland, they've got 900-something years, and they still feel we are Swiss, but different kinds of Swiss, there is a sense of identity. You look at America, 200-something years, they still feel, well, I'm United States of America, special in the world. Even then, some anxiety whether they really care about the world or not. You look at many other post-world new countries. Can they imagine what it is like after 50 or after 100 years, what they want to be? In fact, they don't want to be. Many of them want to be broken up and separated and have gone up in different ways. So if we can want to be one, want to work together and feel that we are Singaporeans and we can maintain that sense of purpose without flagging through 50 years, which means to your great-grandchildren's generation, I think that's not bad.
Maybe it's an unrealistic thing, PM, because the modern man has multiple identities in this globalized world. He identifies himself with many different groups, people with different interests, and he connects with them, very easily through the internet, through social media. So it will become increasingly more difficult to get somebody to share all these identities and just focus on one particular identity.
Yes, we have to accept that. But at the same time, we must know that some of us find it easier to have all these marvelous multiple identities than others. And if you're well educated, you have networks, you have skills, you can travel, well, then it doesn't matter. If you're not in Singapore, you can be somewhere else. And I can imagine quite a number of Singaporeans thriving, making a living for themselves in different parts of the world by themselves. But I think that we would have lost something, and it would be quite sad if you were prospering as a diaspora with just a distant memory that once upon a time your ancestor came from Singapore, as opposed to being all over the world, but Singapore is there, still a shining red dot, and still things happening.